One day we'll fall, we're gonna wake up and then we are rising. We are running compelled, stay all night. So I wanna talk of what to give and suits, wasting our time, and money is all we earn. Let's go so fast, river to my good, my doors will take. I won't be homeless, I'll be.
Alô? Alô? Alô, vê se tá saindo alguma coisa, se tá alto, se tá baixo. Alô? Tá muito baixo? Acho que vai estar meio baixo. Ah, eu acho que vai estar meio baixo, cara. Eu já aumentei tudo que dá aqui. Como é que fica a voz? Tá, mas vê se tá minha voz. Tá muito baixa, muito alta. Dá pra ouvir? Dá pra ouvir legal? Não tá distorcida? Então tá, a gente tá pronto. Estamos prontos.
before you know my Then you make the boy you wearing you. Your body's happy, your age has gone. And now the space appeared in your feelings. Cause the sun's back and you're alone. Trouble you, all your time. You can't pay attention to your life. You gotta be blue and cry. You're wasting love that really cares. You have a feeling that don't understand. Don't forget to leave between you and drop your soul. It's like that perfect land that's sleeping behind you. You have a feeling that don't understand. Trying to be free and drop your soul. It's like that perfect land. Trying to be free. When you feel that you are wrong, you are there because you don't forget that you are wrong. Don't forget it should be true. Being life is just a dream that you have when you are away. Look inside and find a trace that will justify your way. Come to life, the one of life, you know. 17 years ago, the love you had, the love that first you. Respect yourself before the world decide. That's the key of life. Be free to wonder what's your way of life. You've been together with somebody near you is what you need from now. Why are you losing control? It's time to think on it. Cause things are changing around. The ground is moving below your feet, and you gotta run. You've been together with somebody near you is what you need from now. Why are you losing control? Be together, losing control. Why are you losing control? Be together, losing control. When God was nice and used to use technology, I feel a lack of comprehension never seen. Our race is going to cross the road ever and again. But still the process of where we just stay. Report and people have screamed again. But this will be the worst of fears. We'll last no life here. Human race, disgrace. Human race, nothing safe here. This way I live and road I play, not so divide. And now the hate is making our children cry. Report and people have screamed again. But this will be the worst of fears. We'll last no life, fear moments after push the key. And down destruction, now it's over, how I see. No winners, just losers. Human race, just race. No Say, this way you live in Broadway, not so terrified. And now the hate is making you want to dance cry. Human race, such grace. Human race, nothing's real inside. Comes and I am ready. I'm feeling greedy for surprise. It's been some time that I am waiting. That's no motion in my life. Go! My mind's flying far away from where I'm living. Almost floating in my head. My lungs slowly turning gray, the smoke is stealing all everything that I am. On my way doing TV actions. I keep on going against conscious reactions. On my way doing TV actions. I keep on going, whatever. Wow, there are faces in the people that I'm meeting. But I know my own image. Sometimes passing and I'm wasting with a silence. The setting to the remain. On my way doing TV actions. I keep on going against conscious reactions. On my way doing TV actions. I keep on going, whatever. Time this way, floating as the wind is blowing. Passing my time looking through the sky, and see forward just out the ends. is where is where I am living my life. Be free when I persist. Beyond the night, right now the passion of the master and it makes me understand that happiness is double-ended. On my way doing TV actions. I keep on going, I just go sense reactions. On my way doing TV actions. I keep on going, whatever. On my way doing TV actions. I keep on going, I just reactions. On my way doing TV actions. I keep on going, I just go sense reactions. Rise of a new day, glowing with these lights, warming up my face as I lose my mind. Thought it was last night, happy and alive, till the time of shining, I had a little strength. Dazzled by the gleams, troubled by my mind. I see these worlds are full of reasons. I have a thing to face. Am I kinda crazy? What am I trying to hide? Is my mind a lazy to the fight? All I want to know could even change my life. Will the light go down in the sunset? Or is it just another day? Of everyone cannot hold my eyes. Do the false beauties, all I see is red. Dazzled by the beams, troubled by my mind. See the roads are full of reasons. I have a thing to face. Am I kinda crazy? What am I trying to hide? Is my mind a lazy to the fight? All I want to know could even change my life. Will the light go down in the sunset? So I turn my mind, I'm a chip inside. Seek another feeling, but the final close of eyes. It's all I get. Am I kinda crazy? What am I trying to hide? Is my mind a lazy to the fight? Oh, I want to know, could even change my life? Will the light go down in the sunset? Am I kinda crazy? What am I trying to hide? Is my mind a lazy to the fight? Oh, I want to know, could even change my life? Will the light go down in the sunset? Or is it just another day? Here's how to face it. Time goes away. I'm not pretending. Somebody, someone here, and I don't know what's wrong, but it's consuming my soul. That drops the shield I had over me now. I drop the feeling, stop making mad. It's on the website, and when to jump me over, lost all my control and retried myself. That drop the shield I had over me now. I have a feeling that it makes me feel tomorrow. I wanna live my life feeling your way. Before you ask for what I want you to know, that deep inside I give my praise to you. You look so happy, but there's no why. Don't see so easy to carry all your troubles off. Can't see situation over my vibration. Way with all my strength and pouring me I have a feeling that it makes me feel tomorrow. I wanna live my life feeling away. Before you ask for what I want you to know that deep inside I give my place. I have a feeling makes me feel tomorrow. I wanna live my life feeling away. Before you ask for what I want you to know that deep inside I give my place to you. My place to you. Live my life giving away to you. Yeah. My place to you. Those by people around me. Out and down inside my flat. Close by cold walls, covering rail. Away the solitary alarm bell. Here we go! Watch the streets. Away the crowd. The people seem with a protection twice. The sunshine here and have a fact. Cause it's hidden by concrete. There's no need to wonder why I feel I'm lonesome sometimes. Yeah. Watch the streets. Away the crowd. The people seem with a protection Christ. If I feel it will remain. I had a feeling of pain. Without the same, it will be a time to tell the reasons who's living with me. Don't know if it's a strange the way I live this time. I'm sure that I can be followed by myself, my only friend. Not this way, I'm living today. Surely isn't enough for me. And if I can, to this point, I only my own life. Watch the streets. I wait the crowd. The people I see. Don't know if it's a strange the way I live this time. My image going to the end. sometimes I feel the same. A better way to go. And so I understand that I must talk again to my own friend. Who am I? Oh, if for whole life we pay with our freedom, training to safely, our champions are gone. We go down close, we are not shackles and stairs, and not no ladder. You are over my ground, I'm better than her. We all want to rise up. Now we are blind to live a free life, qualify amounts. We step over pillars and stay at our line, just to have our suits. Facing this planet, there's two undivided. We'll not solve and heal the pains that injure us all. Single temples, we are obstacles and stairs, and not no ladder. You are over my ground, I'm better than her. We all want to rise up. It's this killing people and fighting with powers. We must burn misery. Destroy all the ripples and strip all the hate and those ground shakerings that are are shaming the distance. Hope you like my way. Just look around you, and we'll see your country. Disappeared everywhere, all over the world. Time to wake up and have a free life. Quantify your dreams. Take out of the feelings and take out of mind. We are all human beings. It's killing people and fighting with flowers. We must burn the misery, destroy all the weapons. Hope you drive like way, yay!
I'm the one who waits for being alive again. Recall the past because there is no hope for being here. Day by day and night, the troubles cover on my head. The best I can do won't be enough to waste my time on it. And I will never say that it's over, my friend, because now I can see what's reality. I saw the bomber man blow into sky. The lost army just makes people cry. A crowd of beggars are ready to die. Ask yourself, are you ready to die? Centuries defining yourselves, the mankind can be worse. Hope receive rest, the future promised land. Scientists waste their time looking outside the place we live. Already full of glory, but still searching for the key.
Hello, my friends. This is Rodrigo Peplau speaking. We are starting our fifth Sitecore user group here in Brazil. I would like to start with amazing announcement. So I will read what people, the text that people prepare for us. So after 2 decades of running a digital agency and developing an industry-leading Sitecore practice, Nonlinear has now joined Valtech's team of more than 2,000 digital experts. We are excited by this welcome union and look forward to offering even better Sitecore services to our current and future clients. I would like to extend this announce by telling everyone that's interested that Valtech is hiring. All right. Okay, so in this user group, we are going to have 2 presentations. Vinicius Deschamps, our Sitecore MVP, is going to chat about Azure, Sitecore on Azure from the perspective of a system administrator. And myself, Rodrigo, also Sitecore MVP, I'm going to show you how to build a module that is compatible to Hilux compliant from scratch. So it will be a very hands-on presentation as well. Stay with us. Pode abrir para falar aqui? Ou quer botar o headset?
Ah, mas tu botou o headset? Tudo bem? Good evening, everyone. So as Peplau said, my name is Vinicius Deschamps, and I'm speaking about Sitecore with Azure, better together. I hope that it's the original title, but let's move forward. All right, so here is our agenda. So first, who am I? Number 2, introduction to the cloud. Number 3, Azure, an overview for Azure. Ways to provision Sitecore, hands-on. A little bit of my background technology on Azure and cloud. So hopefully you guys enjoy this topic. Also, I have a topic specifically for system administrators, and ending this presentation with the questions. All right, so who am I? Vinicius Deschamps is my name. I am a system administrator at Valtech, formerly Nonlinear Creations. I have plus 10 years playing system administrator roles, Microsoft certified solutions expert, and currently I have been awarded with the Sitecore MVP 2017. All right, so an introduction to the cloud. Everyone likes to speak about the cloud. Everyone knows the cloud, and here's an introduction to it. So as probably everyone already heard about that, we have infrastructure as a service, known as IaaS. What is IaaS? So infrastructure as a service is running your servers, storage, networking, and have all these in a cloud provider. For example, Azure. We have Amazon as well, but the focus of this presentation will be Azure. So instead of having servers hosting your Hyper-V servers, you have a subscription in Azure running your servers, your disk space, your firewall, your security, and etc. All right, so we also have platform as a service. This englobes everything from infrastructure as a service and abstract the virtual machines and operational systems. So you have all your service running in the cloud without need to care to worry about how are things working in terms of operational system, servers, networking, and your data center, for example. And to end the introduction to the cloud, we have software as a service, and it globes everything else. So in other terms, you don't have to worry about um, anything. Uh, Everything that will be on the cloud will be managed by the cloud person, or better saying, by the cloud people. Here is a graphic that explains the responsibility, the different responsibility between on-prem, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So as you can see, on-prem, you have to take care of everything. This is your responsibility. On infrastructure as a service, you have to worry about your application, your data, runtime, middleware, and operational system. And platform as a service, you only care about your application and data. As you can see on the software as a service, Microsoft takes care of everything else. And as a clarification note, at this time, we don't have Sitecore in this last flavor, that is software as a service. So be aware that this is not an option at the current stage. Okay, so a little bit about Azure. As you guys know, Azure has plenty data center across the globe. So we have in US, Canada, Europe, Asia. So wherever you want to move forward with your application, you will be covered by Azure. So we know that there is another providers, but a little further, I will show you why it's better to go with Sitecore and use Azure for doing that. So Azure provides two portals known as Classic. Is this one that you guys are seeing? So this is the first portal for Azure, and we'll be covering for this presentation Resource Manager. That's the new version of the portal, and Azure also recommends to move forward with Resource Manager portal. You can use any of them, of course, it's your choice, but be aware that all new applications and new resources that are being released by Azure, by Microsoft, will be provided in the Resource Manager portal. And this is the Resource Manager that I was talking about. So as you can see, all the interface has changed. It improved, and have new stuff at the left panel. So let's focus on Azure Resource Manager and show some features you'll find over there. One of the changes that you have from the Classic portal, the version 1 that I showed you, let me back a little bit. This one, okay. So the first version of Azure portal doesn't have resource groups. What does that mean? All the resource should be tied to a resource group. So a virtual machine will be under this example here, SUG-BR, and it will running in a life cycle. And if I have other service and I want to provide any maintenance on them, and I have to shut down, and wherever needs to be done in a specific resource group will be shared the same for all items that are inside of it. All right. So each resource group can only exist in one resource group, but resource, let's say a virtual machine, for example, cannot be created without have a resource group. And resource groups can span regions. What does that mean? You can create resource groups per region. So if you want to create a failover, a standby failover, for example. You can create that span East US, and another resource group that englobes everything on West US. So if that's the case, you can split your resources by regions using the resource groups. All right, so next feature is a network security groups. You can have network security groups in both portals, old version, the classic one, and the resource manager. But you have less capability from the new portal. So network security groups contains a list of security rules that allows or deny network traffic to resource, connect to Azure virtual network. Network security groups are our firewalls in the cloud. So over here, you can create inbound rules, outbound rules, deny by source, and many other rules that firewalls are able to. Network security groups also can be associated to subnets, individuals VMs, as you can see only for classic, or individual network interface attached to VMs. So the network security group in the classic portal, you will have network security groups to each virtual machine that you create, and not to the entire subnet that you have. So this might be a problem if you want to share some of the rules of the network security. Let's say outbound rules, for example, if you want to block all HTTPS or HTTP, and you can do with a single rule. And in the classic portal, you have to replicate over every machine. This is a great feature of Azure. You have on both portals is Traffic Manager. What Traffic Manager can do is improve availability. You can point the Traffic Manager to two services, for example, two virtual machines. And while you are doing a maintenance in one of the virtual machines, you can stop the Traffic Manager to point to one of them and keep your service available. So you do whatever you need to do in one machine or two machines. It will depend how many machines you have behind the Traffic Manager, and then provide any maintenance you need to do, any deployment, and so on. So improve responsiveness, perform a service maintenance without downtime. That what I was saying. And also use Traffic Manager to combine on-prem and cloud-based applications, which means that if you still have your application running in your data center, you can point to the Traffic Manager to route traffic to, and perform a maintenance in your cloud, and vice versa. And also distribute traffic by rules. And one of the most interesting that I will also demonstrate in here, it's our ARM templates. They are a JSON file format. They are declaratives, and they help us in the process of automation. With these templates, you can deploy virtual machines just by clicking start button, and the machines will be deployed without any issue. So press your enter button and go get your coffee. And last topic for Azure, why Sitecore plus Azure? Why this is a good deal for us? So Azure is from Microsoft, and Microsoft is built. Microsoft built on .NET and has familiarity of Windows. Sitecore use this technology, and why not going further with the provider of the .NET and Sitecore. So with Azure, you have familiarity with Windows, speed to market. You bet that Azure will provide everything to make sure your Sitecore application is good to go. And I will show in the platform as a service demonstration in Azure. You know that. The only enterprise grade cloud. So Microsoft ensures that Sitecore Experience Database is secure. Infinite scalability. So you can easily scale up your virtual machine, your web application, and you don't have to worry that your site is being crowded by many visitors. You can schedule that. You can do it manually because of a marketing advertisement that it's going on online. All right. Always on. Azure has an SLA of 99.99. I don't know if there's another 9%, but it's almost 100. So it will be a very, very difficult any downtime in Azure unless you are an unfortunate guy. So don't worry with that. So there is also accident protection. Reliable and redundant copies of your data and automatically failover protection. If you don't want to or better say pay without consumption a lot, so you can pay as you go. So you start Azure, and at the end of the month you will receive a bill with everything you have used. Interoperability. You can integrate as you saw in the other slide with your on-prem, the current on-prem solution that you have. You can use back-end systems and market investments as well. So that's why Sitecore with Azure. All right, so we have ways to provision Sitecore hands-on. So let me stop a little bit here. And so here's the virtual machine that I have created earlier today. And I will show you, I will explain a little better what I'm doing here with this script that I'm about to run here. All right, so I have created a script that I will explain further in a few minutes, and I will leave it running because it takes some time to deploy all the solution, and we'll be back shortly to watch that. Just a second. Okay, so right now I can continue my presentation, as you can see, and I just had to provide my credentials for Azure, and I will explain a little bit further this one. Okay, so this is the Azure portal, the new version, the Resource Manager, as I mentioned before. So over here you have the resource group that I mentioned. So I have some items already created. As you can see, I have run a few tests to make sure that everything goes smoothly during the presentation. I don't like to be a wild guy, so that's the reason why. So as you can see here under this resource group, SUG-BR, you see that I have my application deployed and everything under the same life cycle. So let me go back here. So this is one of the Sitecore application web using platform as a service that I deployed prior to this presentation. and this one is running as we speak. All right, so back into the first slide that I mentioned about infrastructure as a service. As you can see here, I have two VMs running. The first one is my content delivered, and the other one is the SQL. So in infrastructure as a service diagram, it will be similar as this one. Probably you see more machines depending on your environment and how your scenario is. So for this presentation, I decided to move forward with a single VM for Sitecore and a VM for SQL. So this is pretty much infrastructure as a service, where you have your Azure subscription running your virtual machines. One it's with Sitecore and the other one with SQL. Okay. So this machine that I'm presenting is our Sitecore content delivery, where I can easily find IIS with my Sitecore application running. So here's the lady with the cell phone, and it says, yeah, it seems that my application it's up and running without issues. So I didn't made any scalability, so it's all together. I will access Sitecore console. So as you can see, is this is more related with our daily basis until the cloud shows up. Sorry for this, I didn't test it, sorry. So few adjustments to be done, and I will need some time to fix, of course. But as you can see, I have plenty of plant control of the machine, the Windows. I need to run Windows updates. I need to update the Sitecore. I need to update SQL, by instance, and perform any activity. I have hands on the server. So you guys are probably use it to see that, because it's our daily basis prior to the cloud. And wherever maintenance that you need to do, you have to do yourself or call your system administrator. Okay, so another thing, you have SQL as a service in Azure. So you can deploy SQL as a service without worry about license, without worry about update the machine, without worry about running updates, and so on. So in a case of platform as a service, this is one of the examples, all right? So another thing, as platform as a service, you see that I deployed a content delivery down here, where I'm able to access here, so I can see the same lady, right? And as this is a content delivery, I don't have permission to access /Sitecore. Okay, so this is pre-configured during the deployment. The script that I have deployed before the presentation. So as you can see here, I'm accessing the content management from the platform as a service, and the Sitecore console should loads. Just a few minutes is the first time. There you go. Oops, just a second. So I have changed. I have chosen a different password from the standard one, the B one, and I forgot that. Sorry. So I just got it from my JSON file for the ARM template that I use it to deploy it, and I'm about to access the Sidecar console. All right, it's loading here. So as you can see, I have Sidecar content management deployed as well. And seems that the pictures are loading now. That's good. It wasn't my intention. It should work on both perspectives, in infrastructure as a service and the platform as a service. Both should work fine. But as this is the case, as you can see, I have the same access from both sides. So I accessed my Sidecar console using my Sidecar deployed inside of a VM, and I'm accessing the platform as a service Sidecar PaaS, as known. So I can create a new user. I can move forward with all daily basis stuff that a content management manager can do. And back to the Azure portal, you can see that I have processing and reporting. So this is related with the type of installation I have choose for these web apps. So this is all your choice. So you can start with the content delivery only and install a VM for content management, for instance. So you can have a hybrid environment with Sidecar if that your wish for your application, if something that client needs that you do. Okay. All right. So just for clarification, as I mentioned before, Sidecar doesn't provide software as a service at this very moment. So be aware of that again. All right. So let's see, our script here is still deploying. Okay. So explaining a little bit about what I have done in terms of how do I deploy Sidecar as a platform, using platform as a service. So Sidecar has improved the way that it provides Sidecar in Azure. So you will find, I will provide these all these links afterwards on the description of the video. So we have a GitHub repository where you can find the ARM templates for Sidecar 8.1, 8.2.3, and web form for marketers. Okay. So there's a few options here. I was explaining you that I have deployed with content delivery, content management, processing, and reporting, right? So here are the versions, but how do you know which version you want? So I have to go back on the Sidecar download webpage, and you will find here the options for Azure App Service. So package for XP0, sorry, configuration, it's for a single instance. Packages for XP and XP1 have CM, CD, processing, and reporting. This was the one that I deployed prior to this presentation, and the one that is running behind the scenes here. And we also have the XM1 and XM that with two roles, CM, CD, and these packages are configured in CMS only mode. All right. So let me back here for a second. So what I did, I have downloaded the entire repository. It's not a big deal. It's a few megabytes. Let me show you here. So, and I have the same view as I have in the GitHub. All right. So my intention was to deploy Sidecar 8.2.1 and XP. All right, so I have these two files here, Azure deploy and Azure deploy.parameters.json. The one that you modify, it will be this Azure deploy.parameters. All right, so I will show in a few minutes. Another tool that you need is Sidecar Azure Toolkit, where you can download in the dev.sidecar.net. I will provide the link in the description of this video, and you will see that I have downloaded here and have all these stuff together. All right, and the last piece is to put all together as I did here. All right, so I have created I have got the folder from the XP configuration. I have created also a PowerShell script that you can find easily on the GitHub repository as well, similar to this one. All right, and just keep in mind that for doing that you have to have Azure subscription, so keep that in mind. All right, so let me open the files here. So basically, this is the Azure deploy.parameters, the JSON file that I mentioned for you guys. So let me a blank file just for a second. Okay, so let's say that I'm starting right now with my deployment to tell what I want that Azure configures for me. All right, so deployment ID will be the name of your application. You have Sidecar admin password. As you noted, I have changed it and it was not B. So I came back to this file to get it. And what is this guy for? So if you go back to GitHub, you have a help guide here that shows you what is what the field it's works for. So here's the one that I'm looking for. So it's a unique value that will be used as authentication when communicating from Content Manager to the reporting web app. Okay, so you can easily generate a GUID file, a GUID entry, and paste it here. So it will make all the communication happen. All right. Analytics MongoDB. Well, I didn't mention that before, but you can provide any sort of connection here, but your analytics won't work if you do that. So prior to do that, you have to configure either a virtual machine, or if you want to go 100% platform as a service, you have MLab as an option. So you have to provide, as you were working in the connection string file, like this one, and use the same structure. So MongoDB, how do you say column? Yeah, column. So MongoDB column / localhost, and of course you change localhost by your server on MLab. So here will be similar. Will be the same entry, let's say like that, the same entry, but modified accordingly to match your MongoDB server. So if you have a MongoDB as a virtual machine, you point to your virtual machine by instance here and provide the name of your MongoDB database. So analytics, tracking live, tracking history, and tracking contact. All right. Another thing that the ARM will do for you, it's the SQL Server login. So you can create whatever you want. You can set the password, and pay attention that the password should be um, security with security complexity. So you have to have at least 9 characters. You have to use special characters and numeric and so on. All right. So moving forward, to set up for Sitecore CM, you have to have a package URL. Do you guys know where I can find one? Probably this one here. All right. So as I choose the package XP1, let me show you. Here's the package XP1 that I choose. And I have to unzip those files and put those in the cloud. Okay. So over here, I will put a blob storage address where my ARM template, my PowerShell script will call the JSON file and running behind the scenes and provision CM, CD, proc, processing, and reporting. All right. So in order to do that, let me show how tricky that might be. So you have to have a storage account where you can upload those files. So as you can see here, I already uploaded because it takes a while. And it's my recommendation for you guys, spin up a machine in Azure prior to this upload to the storage, because sometimes these 4 files here have 1 gig, and sometimes from your machine in the office, you probably face some issues to upload this amount. So create a virtual machine, upload the files, and be happy for that. But the trick part is that to create a good space to upload those files to, you have to create a storage. So let's create my storage here. So I'm creating my storage here. I'm giving a name. There's some recommendations here that you cannot start with a number, you cannot be uppercase. So that's the reason it gives me a green sign here. Also, if by any chance this address Vinicius SUG-BR already exists, .core.windows.net, you receive an error here. All right. Okay, so here's the trick part. You have to choose the account kind from general purpose to blob storage. Okay, so if you leave as general purpose, you'll find some errors during the deployment of the Sitecore. Okay, and we don't want that. And replication, you can choose whatever you want. I'm going with locally redundant, as it's a simple upload of files that I will be using later on. And subscription, it's the one that I'm using. With source group, so as I don't want to mix or confuse anyone here, I will be creating a new one because it's a different life cycle, if you remember one of the slides before. So I will create a new one, Vinicius storage. Oops, seems that, oops, sorry, create a new one, sorry. Not using existing. So Vinicius storage location, I will leave as East US and create. It's take a while, let's say 1 to 2 minutes to create the storage. And once I have my storage, I will need a space inside of the storage to upload those files. So let me hit refresh here. So seems that my storage is created. Here, the icon also differs from the VMs that I created because it's a different type of storage. So this is blob storage icon, and this is the common storage. Okay. So under my storage here, I will have to create a container to upload my files. So I will create here Sitecore packages. And the access type will be blob again. All right, so not private, not container, it's a blob. Click OK. And another tip that I can tell you, it's there's a tool provided by Microsoft called Microsoft Azure Storage Explorer. I will provide in the description of this video. It's pretty easy to upload your files all by once. So, but back into Azure Portal, you have the ability to upload files from here. So going back to my downloads file, and you notice that it will take a while, but the download will start. And while I'm uploading the file from these from the portal, I will reload my storage under Azure Storage Explorer. Okay, so as you can see here, I have my storage Vinicius SUG-BR. I have my blob container Sitecore package. This file it's already uploading. It's already graded out, so it's uploading. Oh, seems that the upload is completed. And under the Azure Storage Explorer, I can hit upload files, navigate, and choose all other packages. All by everyone, all these files in a single time. Okay, and hit upload. So the upload will take a little bit, but it's not our intention to wait. So I have done this prior this presentation, as you can see here on this blob storage here, and I have all packaged here. So I will complete. If you click on the file, this package here, you will see there is a URL over here, which I'm be using to pass as a parameter. All right. So I have the CD package URL here, and I used my CD package that I uploaded to my blob storage. Okay. So I will fill it up accordingly, and be aware that fill it up properly, these fields, because I faced some issues during the weekend when I was starting this presentation. And you can see my question on Stack Exchange if you want to. All right, so it ended up that the script that I'm running has deployment ID. I have my password admin. For Sitecore, I have my GUID for the reporting server. I have MongoDB in place. I have SQL. I have my password. I have my package properly filled. And I have the Sitecore SKU that you can choose from XP1 to XP5, if I'm not wrong. But you can also rely here on the, XP1 to XP5. You can always rely on the GitHub. So let's see how our script's going. So it's still deploying. I will be continue with my presentation, and we can see how things finish. Oh, seems that it's done. Right. So right on time, we have our script deployed, and it throws an overview. So Azure demo succeeded. I have all the parameters deployed over here, so I can double check everything that has been deployed. So I think we are good to go. Back to our Azure portal and just double check that our Azure demo is working. So as you can see, they are running. That's good. So let's access our Azure demo CD node. So it might take a while. As you know, Sitecore, the first load takes a little bit more than others. And let's see. So seems that our requests are happening. And by the number of the requests, I believe you guys saw the address and try access from home, right? So let's see how things goes, and hopefully platform as a service don't disappoint us. Yep. All right. So let's see how things go with our content management, for instance. Oh boy. So our content delivered on. So this is our platform as a service up and running. So as you can see, our script was started. It took only, let's see, scroll up. So it took, in a good math, 30 minutes, 26 minutes to be more precise. 26 minutes to provision a full environment for Sitecore, content delivery, content management, reporting, and processing server. All right, so that's good. We enjoy it. So going back to our presentation to finish. So last topic, system administrators. So with everything that we have done in Azure, what does system administrator do all day? Hello, IT? Have you tried turning off your computer? No? Seriously? Definitely not. So we configure, manage, troubleshoot, monitors, and fix every aspect of company's computer, network, and IT infrastructure. And fellow employees thinks he just surfs the internet and fix printer. Yeah, yeah, I don't smoke, but the first part is true, right? So what about the cloud? Will your job role disappear? So in my opinion, cloud is a good thing for all system administrators, where we'll be able to stop putting out fires and start think efficiently. So yeah, the idea of not seeing the server scares the shit of me. I have been working remotely from my data center since 2013 when I started nonlinear, Vaultec now. So I don't have any complaints regarding that. So I think it's a good thing, and we keep the ball rolling for a long, long time. Thank you. Questions, and here's my contacts. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Vem aqui para falar, só tá com o microfone hoje. Aí. Tá ligado? Thanks, Vinicius. Great presentation. I have a question for you. So, what you demo for us today makes a lot of sense in terms of infrastructure when we're working Sitecore, several environments, continuous integrations, QA, production, etc. That makes a lot of sense. But let's just think for a second, from a development perspective, what could a developer benefit from this, working just as a developer? Because one of the things I can think of is, for example, having services like MongoDB or SQL Server running on cloud, and that can bring benefits, from having it there. You don't have to worry about it from your having SQL Server running on your local, etc. But can you think of anything else or any other benefits that a developer only, and I'm speaking just someone working on their laptop or etc., that they can benefit from using Azure and Sitecore, or it's just more from your perspective, just more when you're dealing with production environments, UAT and etc. You can elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, so the benefit that we all know that Sitecore needs a good environment for the developer working on. So usually you guys have a Core i7 with 16 or more gigs, and also SSD will all good to have. So with Azure for developers, you can spin up an environment in 26 minutes, which is great. So I'm not sure about the way that you will connect and deploy through Azure, but I have seen that with you and Rodrigo already. But so you have the ability to spin up a full environment in 26 minutes. So it's a good start. And if you are only working in the cloud, let's say with all package Mongo, the Sitecore, even with the VMs, by instance, you have the ability to don't have a powerful machine, for example, in terms of hardware, from hardware perspective. In terms of development, I think it will be similar. The benefit I can think of, it's the way you provision, the speed that you provision that, and how well you can start from scratch. Let's say that prior to start your development and all your activity, you took a backup for the entire VM or for the entire Sitecore web application running on as a pass. So back up everything, you mess it up, and it starts again from scratch. Let's say 26 minutes it's too much. I don't know. It might be for some, but I think we can all take advantage from that. João Neto is asking.
What's the average cost for keeping production and Kine and UAT instance on Azure? Do you think it's expensive to keep all of your instance on Azure, or would you recommend only keeping the production and leaving the test and the user acceptance on your local servers? What do you say about it?
Yeah, so let me responding that question by accessing the website here. Just a second. So Microsoft provide a calculator. Pricing calculator. So this is a standard for end users calculator. All right. So it might change if you have enterprise agreement. Okay. So the price here listed are for end users only. So if you have a commitment with Microsoft, this price might be decreased. Okay. So of course, keeping an entire environment in Azure will be expensive, especially if you are running under virtual machines. If you put side by side virtual machines against platform as a service, the cost for virtual machine will be higher. Because despite Sitecore, you also have the operational system to run. And using Sitecore as Sitecore PaaS. You don't have the operational systems, so it will it will run in a different platform with lower hardware perspective, and it will be cheaper. But just for curiosity, I'm adding virtual machine here with Windows standard. For production, I can say from what we are using for our client here, we are using an A4 machine that has an 8-core, 14 gigs, and a single machine, it's $535 per month for a single environment. Of course, this is to keep running entire month. So if you could think of shut down the machines of business hours, would be, let's say, just for 20 days. You know. So you can play around with that, but in my opinion, it's always move to the cloud. But keep in mind that there is a cost behind that. It has all benefits, but there's a price, a price behind the scenes that keep that up and running for Azure and Microsoft. They need to make money. We need to make money. So also there's a price.
Chris Williams, our good friend from Canada, is just commenting that spin up in 20-60 minutes is great for reproducing customer issues in a dev environment quickly. And you don't have to keep it live forever. You can turn it on and off, and when you need it, and just pay for the storage. So it's another, I guess, another response for Diego.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Chris. And also, I think that adds more content to João question regarding values. So I think you have to put on balance and see what's the benefit for you to have everything from your development in Azure, and or having in your environment, or give to developers the option to deploy things in cloud quicker and for test purposes only. It all depends.
Jason is adding nice information, telling that to help when talking to clients, Sitecore and Microsoft built a calculator to do a quick estimate of the common packages, XP05, XM05. Get a hold of your local sales representation to get help with estimates. Good one, Jason.
Thanks, Jason. And also, I have saw Jason's PowerPoint. He did earlier this year. And also keep in mind that Sitecore has a license, and to deploy to Azure, your license needs to be appropriated for the Azure environment. It needs to accomplish all the environments that I have deployed here. So content management, content delivery. So you can always rely on your Sitecore representative and partner to get a proper license for that.
So on platform as a service, how is it that you access stuff like logs for a content management server, for example?
Good question, Anderson. So I didn't show you here, but whoops, just a second. Okay, back to my VM here. So Jason also wrote a good blog post about application insights. Okay, so application insights gives you a good overview what's happening with your applications under platform as a service. And I'm not pretty sure that if my application already have enough information, but you can always rely on that. When you deploy it, the Sitecore using platform as a service, it installs the application inside, and you have to either enable it and let me pull it up here. So as I was mentioned here, Jason wrote this awesome article. I can put on the description of this video. And you have to set up application sites for your ASP.NET website. So you need to use your Visual Studio to apply the telemetry, and you'll be able to take all advantage for that. So as Anderson asked about the log files and etc. So you have a good tool here where you can generate alerts and see the failures that's happening on your application, and take advantage of the cloud to make your application succeed.
I just posted on the chat, but you can always access Sitecore logs through Sitecore, through the log viewer. So I guess that answers your question, right?
Thank you, Diego. So any more questions? Are you stuck? No? All right. That's it, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate your attention. Have a great evening.
I would just make a small comparison, and we'll continue 2 to 5 minutes just to set up the headset. That I will need the headset to have my 2 hands free, and we continue. One more question.
Okay, because I've worked with Clay Tablet module, and Clay Tablet requires you to send files to the file system and configure those files. How do you do that using platform as a service?
Yeah, so this is important information that I just forgot to mention. Not all modules are compatible with this platform as a service yet. So I'm pretty sure that Sitecore and Microsoft are making efforts to make this happen. So I will quickly try to find out the compatibility table. There is just a second. All right, so the following table presents the compatibility of Sitecore XP components and modules with the Microsoft Azure Platform as a Service, such as Azure App Service, Azure Search, Azure SQL, and so on. So as you can see here, for example, Active Directory is not supported module as a service. PXM is not supported. Dynamics has a mark here, so I won't comment. Email Experience Manager, SharePoint Connect. So all those guys are not supported. Keep in mind that some modules probably won't work at this moment. And hopefully in the near future, we have something from Sitecore.
Because in the case of Clay Tablet, it's not only that the module requires config files to be delivered, because those could be delivered using the module itself, like a zip file, the regular zip file. But you also have to go into the data directory, create folders in there, and deploy files to the file system itself. So I don't think that would work platform as a service right away, right? You don't have access to the file system itself, do you?
Yeah, so that's another good question. Let me go back to my super virtual machine here. You can, I'm not sure about Clay Tablet, but you can always rely on FTP. as you can see here, I didn't set up the FTP, so I'm not sure if we will be able to access it. But let me copy here. And so it seems that there's an user in authentication. Yeah, I don't think. Oh,
Jason just
yep. Go ahead.
Jason just mentioned that Click Tablet's not built by Sitecore, and each vendor has to build their support to their module.
Okay, so let me show you here. There is a password here for our FTP. Just a second. Let's see if we can see anything. So this is the password. Yep. Whoops. This is generated by Azure automatically. Okay. Yeah. So and the username. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Something else. So I will. Yeah, you have FTP. It's just a matter to configure and enable it. So probably I didn't enable it or in somewhere else, but we can have a look and chat about that. Thank you.
Okay, guys, 2 to 5 minutes, so I prepare my environment.
Hey, hey, hello. Hey, please let me know if you can hear me, guys, please. I'm using now a different microphone, headset. Depends. Não? Por quê? Tá ruim? Ah, não, tu tem que apertar o botãozinho para ir pro. Alguém pode conferir se tá. Can someone please tell me if can hear me? My voice, please. Não desliga. Okay. We're almost done. Thank you. Chronometer. Okay, folks, can we get started? Can we get started? All right, thanks for your attention, my friends. In this presentation, I'm going to show you how to build a component in a Helix solution. So it's a great chance for those that already had some conceptual introductions to Helix, how to, in a hands-on approach, how to create a module in this platform, in this architecture. So a bit about myself. My name is Rodrigo Peplau. Uh, I'm working until today as a Sitecore technical team lead and a solution architect. I have 7 years of Sitecore experience at Nonlinear Creations, that how you guys are aware, now became Valtech. Today is my last day, my farewell day at Nonlinear, and I'm proud to be using this old branded PowerPoint templates. I've been twice awarded a Sitecore Technology MVP, 2016 and 2017. And this year we got been proudly a part of the champion Team Go Horse. We won the Sitecore Hackathon in the data exchange framework category, which was something amazing for us. All right, so I would like to give you a few links, important links about Helix. The first is the Helix official documentation. I recommend everyone to have a look in a whole look on the Helix documentation. It's not that much. I spend about maybe 6 hours to read everything. And also like to drop a couple videos there. The first is the Helix workshop presented in Sitecore Symposium 2016 in New Orleans. It was a very good one. And the second is the presentation that Roberto Barbedo gave in our Sitecore User Group 2000, number 2, second edition. As usual, we'll make available these PowerPoints and all that in the YouTube video description later. Okay, so I will be really brief in this phase about conceptual, because as you guys know, this is not new anymore. Most people are now aware of the concepts, but it's really important to chat about these 3 layers. So the project layer, the feature layer, the foundation layer. The dependencies must always come from top down. So the project layer is the more stable one. I'm sorry, this is the less stable one. So it's where you put your the things you do for the project itself. The feature layer is where your features are going to be implemented. So like if you have a news module, it will be in the middle layer, in the feature layer. And the foundation layer is where you put things that is not going to change very often. Basic things like layout, the layout frameworks that you're going to use, access to data sources, languages, multi-languages, everything that relates to the basis of your project will be in the foundation layer. So here is a small, a better look on how the things will be organized in Helix. So each of those 3 layers you have several modules. You can have, like we show here, groups of modules. It's just logical group, you know, not actually a physical group, but helps you keep the semantic of your application good in terms of grouping them. And those arrows you're seeing here are the references. So basically, one of the benefits of this architecture is avoiding circular references. For those that at least once in your life got into trouble with circular references, or not exactly circular references, but crazy references. So projects referencing to not obviously to others. And this architecture comes to solve that issue. So basically, you have modules referencing modules, and like you see here, you never use a reference among the same layer, always to the top to bottom. There are some exceptions. You can have feature layers, a feature module referencing to other feature module. That's more common when you have them inside a group. However, it's you want to avoid that. Okay, next. What is this demo solution? I'm going to implement something from scratch, but I'm not starting from scratch itself. I have a solution in place. What is this solution? So I'll put available this solution. It's now on TFS at Visual Studio Online, but I'm opening that to GitHub, and I will make the link public for everyone. If you're too anxious to get access to that, too excited, you can ask me for access, and I will provide you. That's unfortunate that TFS cannot be public. It is a Helix compliant solution, but not based in a Habitat solution, but with several inspirations, let's say, stealing itself, okay? So I based myself in a Helix, in a Habitat solution, but started from scratch. One important difference in my solution is that the feature layer is renamed to bases. I made that choice because I wanted to have the layers alphabetically organized. It's just a personal choice. You don't have to follow that. Differently than the standard Habitat solution, this solution doesn't use Unicorn, but TDS. So we are using TDS both to do the serialization and the publication of everything to the final website folder. And it's based on Sitecore 8.2 Update 3. It's basically based in a fresh Sitecore installation installed with Sitecore Instance Manager and populated by my Visual Studio solution with the help of TDS by using the solution deploy command. It's a command that you guys will see during the demo. Oops. Okay, so what is exactly the module the component we're going to build? The component we are going to build looks like this. It is basically easy to explain. It has a picture, a title, a subtitle, and 3 links to social media. Okay. And of course, you can place more than one in the same placeholder to have an effect like this, but they are separated, like you can see here. Because of Bootstrap, it's a Bootstrap template. It is automatically going to adjust your mobile phone, like you're seeing here. And these are the things that you have in your component: a picture, a name, a role, and the links to the 3 social medias. Okay? Now, let's have a look on the artifacts that we are going to implement during this demo. So basically, I am separating the 3 layers here. We'll start with 3 base components. They are the basis layer, also known as a feature foundation layer. So we have Sitecore basis alerts to give us a good looking alerts on the screen. The Sitecore basis dictionary for dictionary handling, and Sitecore basis extensions, which has some fancy extensions to help assist during the implementation. And we have our, so what you have in gray is actually code projects, and you have in blue is TDS projects. So in the feature layer, we're going to create a Sitecore feature team member module where our code to build the component will be stored. And we have 2 other
TDS projects that we are going to create we are going to use and update during the demo at the project layer. So they are basically two TDS projects to store items in that place. And here we're going to see a little bit what lies in each of these components, in each of these projects. So in the team member, we are going to have our controller and our view. Okay, this is code that will be in the Sitecore feature team member project. In the team member master, the TDS projects, we are going to store our rendering, the media library, the icons of the media library, and the template, the single template that is going to have our fields. So name, role, Facebook, LinkedIn, so on and so forth, right? But this is a Helix principle. Have that template in that template that I'm creating here. We traditionally use that directly as a data source. But in this case, we're not going to do this. We're going to progress and create the two templates in the common website master TDS project. So we'll have team members, which is actually a folder for team members, and the team member itself, which is the data source template. Okay? In the Helix website master, which is the one, Helix website master is the one from my project, from my implementation itself. So what I'll have there is the place to put my data source items. So, you know, the repository itself. The data source repository, we have also the points to, we have here something in the middle to determine what is the data source template and the data source location of my component, okay? So we traditionally do this all together, and here we are splitting in different parts. After the demo, I can respond to some questions about and doubts about why we picked those places to place our things. And here you have arrows showing the references. So the team member references the three base projects. The Sitecore website master inherits the points to the template itself because it creates items based in that template, correct? The Sitecore common website master points to that template in the team member master because it inherits from that. So basically, instead of using directly the team member template, we are creating a separate template with a good looking icon and all that, that inherits from that. And we are using that instead. Dependencies. I said references. Dependencies. Thank you. Okay, demo time. Now is the time of the truth. Let's pray to the demo gods. I would like to say that the proper sacrifices has been already provided. So if demo gods are not good with us, it's not my fault. Okay. So I will start by telling you and with slides what we're doing. And in this first step, you see a ribbon in the top showing that we are in the feature layer. Okay. So we are going to create in the feature layer what? Create our projects. Create the components project and the TDS master project, and set up TDS projects to deploy component projects. Okay, so where's my Visual Studio? Here we are. I need to open the solution, of course. Okay. So as you can see, I'm going to stay in the feature layer. We have a folder for that. to save time, I already created the project itself, but it's empty, like you can see. Things I've done so far is to set up the web config as build action none, so it's not deployed when I do a deployment, the two web configs, and added the references that I need, so to site core kernel and the internal references dependencies. Okay, so that one is done. Next, we are going to, let me just check one thing. It's important. I need to know if my TDS project, yes, it is set up to deploy from this project. You may see that we have tons of TDS projects everywhere, where usually we have only one or two during our solutions. And how do we make sure we are deploying to the same place? Instead of going to the project itself and doing the setup, we have a single configuration file. We call it tdsglobal.config, and you can specify here the places the place it is pointing to, and automatically all the TDS projects are going to use this setup. It's pretty quick. All right, so back to the presentation. We are going now to create a data source template. We'll start with that. We're going to create the template, and the one that has all that fields, okay? So let me bring up the project, the solution itself. As you can see in the content editor, we also have to respect the layers. So I have created a layer folder here. And the place where I'm going to place to store my new template is, of course, in the feature layer. So I will create here a team member folder, and then create a new template. In the Helix, we always start with underscore. The template there is going to be used as a data source for that component. Why underscore? Is to say that this template must never be used directly, but instead, it should be first inherited by another template, and that template in specific will be used. So this is like a base template. Great, so here's my template. Is a single line, role is a single line, picture. Picture is an image. Twitter, the general link. Also general link. And last but not least, LinkedIn, which is also a general link. Then I save it. You can see I'm not creating a standard values because that will lie actually in the template that inherits from this one, not here. What I will do is indeed to add the template to TDS. So I will select everything here and add to TDS. "20 minutes so far. All right. We are going to create the component rendering, the rendering itself. We are going to upload the component thumbnail to the media library, create that in the controller assembly and the action, setting the data source location as site team member. And this got funny. because instead we're usually at the component itself, we are setting up the data source location. We are doing this differently here. Instead of setting directly the data source location at the component, we have a helper that let us determine different locations for different sites. So you can have one site, that component pointing to a place, site pointing to a second place. So it makes things more extensible and flexible. We'll set the thumbnail and of course add to the TDS project. Okay, so let's do it. I will start by uploading. Let me open media library. Uploaded the icon, the thumbnail to here. So the place I will place this is layer feature. I will again create a new folder here, team member, and just upload the file. There you go. You have it uploaded. It looks good. All good. Next, we are going to create the rendering. So let's create it. Layouts. Oh, sorry. Rendering. And again, I have to create it here. Layers, feature, member. The good part of this always that everything is separated into their own scope, which is much easier to control. So let's create a controller rendering. I will call it team member. Okay. To make it quick, I will paste here the assembly to the controller and the action index. Okay. I will scroll down and in the data source location, I will place site team member. Member, it's correct. Good. And last but not least, this is the funny part. We are going to set, oops, sorry, I need to show the standard fields to set the presentation appearance. Where is that? Appearance. Thumbnail. There you go. I will paste here to save some time. Good. So I have my component. My component is ready to be used. And again, I will add it to the TDS project. So I have to put in the TDS project the new media just uploaded, as well as the rendering. There you go. For those who are used to build a component in Sitecore, it's not a big deal. It's just a matter of knowing where to put the things. That's the big secret. Nothing different from just a normal Sitecore development. Cool. Step 3, the code generation. That's a good part. So we are going to create a code generation file using Sitecore rocks, slightly change the code template, and drag the template from Sitecore Explorer to that, and check if the code is good. So let's go. So this is the fun part. I'm going to create a new item here. This is possible because I have Sitecore Rocks installed. So code generation template, I'll call it templates. This gives you free code generation. I would just slightly change the template and add namespace templates. So I have templates in my namespace. Now I'm going to open Sitecore Rocks, not responding. There you go. And grab the template, my template, the one that I created for the component. By doing this and saving, you can see that you have already some code generated with all the constants that you need and all that things. Okay? Cool. So that was step 4. Step 5, we're going to create a controller. Just to create the file itself, add the data source validation to it. We are using here a pattern that I stole from Habitat, where all the components have a common data source validation. So if the data source is not set up, it will show a good looking warning telling you so. And pass the rendering by as a parameter, as a model to the view. So this is what the controller will do. So let's do it. Again, back to Visual Studio. I will create a new controller, an empty one, and I will call it team member controller. Cool. So let's start it. Let me increase here so you can see it. The first part, it's pretty simple. The first part of the controller, I would just paste this where I'm doing the validation. So let me add all the references. Good. So what I'm doing here, if the current rendering data source is empty, it means that the data source item is not set. If that's the case, we are just, if in experience editor mode, we are showing to the user, to the content editor, some phrase, and the phrase by default is no data source assigned. But you can create easily a dictionary item in this path and customize that. And that's based on your site. You can have in one site your phrase being no data source assigned, and in the other site your phrase being please add a data source. Okay. And last but not least, passing this is only going to be reached if the first validation is not done. So we are passing the view, the item, the data source item to the view as a model. That's it. Let me run. Now we are going to create the view itself. The file, pass the HTML markup to Bootstrap template, add reference to code generated because we need the templates, the IDs. Add model type to the Sitecore MVC presentation, so it's just a declaration, and the few renderings themselves. Okay. So back to here. We create the view, of course. New view. 30 minutes so far. Team member. It's an empty one. I don't want to use any layout. So that's my view. I will just quickly copy and paste the markup of the component. Just an empty markup for now, okay? Let me just do a small adjustment here. Good. So let's also add a reference at the beginning here, because I want my template, the code generated, to be referred here. Let's add a model type. And add some few renderings. Okay, the first few rendering I will place is the picture. So I will just replace this by this. And like, as you can see, let me hide this. As you can see, I'm also preserving the classes by adding them here. Field renders. Here as well. Okay, so the title, that was the title, the name. And here I will place the role and the links. So we'll do that massively, like monkey job. Okay, nothing fancy. Here's Twitter, here is Facebook, LinkedIn. Cool, our view is done. Step 7, we are creating now the project templates. So here is the funny part. The thing that we are not used to do is where we create the team member, the data source template itself. We are inheriting from the underscore team member, and add the standard values, so we can put a name at the dollar name at the name field. And we are going to create as well the folder for the storage with a standard value, just to set insert options. Okay, let's go for it. So back to the templates, but now I'm working in a different layer. I'm working the project layer. So in the common content types, here's where I'm going to create my 2 templates. I will start with the team member. We'll call it team member. And inheriting from that one that we created. Cool. Let's have it have an icon. Where is that? Right here. So adding a new standard values, because I want to have dollar name in the field. Okay. And now adding the second template, which we'll call team members in the plural. This is not going to inherit from anything. Will be just our storage, our folder. So let me give it as well a good looking icon, and create the standard value, so I can simply set the other template as standard options, so as insert options. team member. Fair enough. Okay, so step 8. Now that we have all that in place, we are going to add the placeholder settings. So it's easy. We are just saying that in a predefined placeholder, that component is going to be placed, is allowed to be placed, and then add everything to TDS. So let's do it. Placeholder settings. There is a section placeholder, and I'm just adding my new component to that placeholder settings. Oh, sorry. And then add everything to TDS. But now my TDS project already exists. You remember we are in the project layer. Let me show again that ribbon there in the top, project layer. So what I'm going to do is much easier. I am just going to synchronize the common TDS project, or simply synchronize everything from the top of the solution. Let me show you that. So that's what TDS found. My placeholder uploaded, modified, and the 4 templates, the 2 templates and standard values that we created. We have now everything at the TDS. Okay. Step 9, creating the repository items. So let's just create some items there. The root folder, upload some team member pictures to the media library, and add a couple team members below it. So where is that? Cool. So I will start with the content. We have here Helix, global, and I'm going to create the repository from for my data source items here. Insert from template. I will pick the team members in the plural. This will be the root of my content items. There you go. Let's upload some more pictures. Project. I will store this in project Helix images, and then create a new folder here. Team member. It may be confusing for some people why I picked this layer, not the other layer. We can discuss that after the demo. So let's upload the 3 pictures. Diana, Kay, and Larry. There you go. Now let's add some guys here. I will start with Kay Garland. This guy is a lead design, just adding some content to it. Pasting the picture of this folk. And I'm going to be rude here, I'm sorry for that, but I will just place some valid links to it in the role value itself. I'm not bothering now to the real thing. So we are good with the first. Now the second, Larry Parker. Larry Parker is is a lead marketer, has this good looking picture, and again, being rude and adding some valid links to it. Nice. So now I have the content items as well. I have two of them. Step 10, we are creating the data source mapping. This is interesting. So instead of, like I mentioned in the beginning, instead of having the component pointing to the data source location, we are going to create a mapping item with the name of team member, set up the data source location and the template, and add everything to TDS. So this is the small difference. In Helix, basically because of a habitat where I grabbed this, we'll have under settings a folder called data source. And this is where you can set at the scope of your site a different data source. I will call it team member. And set the data source location to this place. So I'm pointing to global, right? To this place. And the data source template to this. That is good. And then let's synchronize again. Missing project because it's not there yet. $42. But we are almost there. Only 2 steps left. Good. All right. So we have almost everything. What we need to do this now is to deploy the code. So we're just compiling the feature module and deploying use TDS. And then let Sitecore wake up after the deployment. So I'm going back to here and compile my feature module. So I pick this, build my module. And then deploy, right-clicking the TDS project and deploy. Deploy succeed. I will wake up our Sitecore, but I will not make you wait for that. Let's review the last phase, which is plug and pray. What we're going to do after the Sitecore loads is to open the home in Experience Editor mode, add a new section where I can place my component, add a text and a subtext to the section, add a couple members to the internal placeholder, and save the page. And then we are going to add a third member, an empty member. Look at that, Sitecore is behaving. Maybe we can wait. But that's not an issue because I have another instance of that. This is all the respect that I demonstrate to the demo gods. So in here, you can see my arrow component already there. So it's basically pretty compatible with the content editor, but I want to proceed with the same with our script. Sorry, experience editor. It is a long time when we call that content editor or page editor. All right, so this is not the demo. This is my good thing. Okay, so now it has the component that we just built, and I can go ahead and do a smart publish. Oh, sorry, I picked the wrong one. Publish site, doing a smart one. It won't take longer than that. All right, so now is the real thing. I will switch to the edit mode, experience, let it load. As soon as it loads, I am following my script and add a new section. I will place the section right beside, right above this component. So Florian, I guess you like this. It's a section that doesn't have anything on this. I will just go there and add its properties to have an identifier, to have a title. I know I'm getting polemical here. Some people won't add content to the section itself, to the component itself, but I am not like anyone. Okay. Okay, this is not the component we built, but just a section to store our component. I will save my page. And then finally add one of our components there. So I will pick K first. Oops. I've seen that happening before. I will add another one. Larry Parker. I will save the page. And then I will add now a new one. So we have the whole experience. 49 minutes so far. I apologize for the long time it's taking. Create a new one, and I call it Diana. And it's almost everything there for you to go ahead and Diana. What else? She's a lead designer. Oh, I've seen problems with that once. So I'm okay. And that's it. Let me just refresh this, Diana. So it now looks good. If I open in the preview mode. And I will also do a publish. Again with Smart Publish. So we can check that in publish mode. So this is our website. I'll click on team to see our amazing team. Oops. There you go. Oh, well, I placed in the wrong placeholder, but that's fine. It's not looking good, but that's fine. Well, boys, that was all for today. I'll open for questions. Who wants to make questions? Let me just switch to the other microphone in this meantime. I guess that's it. Hello, let me see if it's working. Hey, hey. No, not working? Hey, hey. Okay, yeah, let's use this. I guess it's not an issue. Who wants to make a question? Anderson?
Yeah, just a second. You finish your presentation?
Yes. Thank you.
First of all, great presentation, and I would like to know when it's a question about TDS. When you do the global syncing, how does TDS knows which item goes to which project? Because there are many TDS projects in there.
All right. Like I mentioned, we have a global configuration for everything. So all projects, all TDS projects will be deploying to the same website target. But this is not your question. When you do a sync inside core in TDS in a single project, what it does? It will monitor the projects that are added to the TDS project, correct? If the parent node is set to sync all children, then you have new children and you sync, it will show new items to be added to the project, correct? This is the same here. So every TDS project will have their own own items inside of it. So inside common website master, you have the layout, the layers, the rendering. Here you have the content itself, the data source items, right? So when you do a sync here, a global one, it will actually just look for every project inside their own, every project, the items that are inside of them. So I just did a sync and look what happens. It found that I have changes, but in this case, it's just in the same project, Helix website content. So I have modifications in the items and a new one that I just created during the demo. So I'm going to add those as well. Is that responding to your question?
So it does rely on the fact that the parent is there already, right?
Yes, exactly. It relies on the parent and the setting that that parent has. So if your parent, let's say, the layout render layers here, F4, you open F4, it has a no child synchronization. It can be set to keep all children synchronized. So in this case, anything under this will not be added, but under this, I bet will. So keep all children synchronized. It all depends on that setting.
Should all the assembly names start with sidecar?
Yeah, that's one. Like I mentioned, I inspired myself in habitat, which is using Sitecore at the beginning. However, that should not be the case in a habitat, in a Helix solution. It should be, instead of Sitecore at the beginning, you should have your client's name. So in this case, I would be much better if I would have placed Helix instead of Sitecore. So it would be helix.common.website instead of Sitecore. Anything else? No? Let me just, so, go ahead.
In your slide, in the beginning, you said that you put basis as feature, but use the as instead of foundation. So you might want to correct that.
Foundation is base.
Yeah.
Feature is base. It's foundation.
The feature layers were named to basis.
Oh,
You want to change that?
Sorry.
Just this correction, but great presentation. Thank you.
Good one. That was just to make sure you are paying attention. Okay, I guess it's important maybe to tell you why we picked some of these layers. So why we add to my feature foundation, my module, you know, with that underscore template. Let me close all that, right? And why I don't use this? Because you want reusability. So you can have the same module being used by different sites, you know. So the feature that we implemented is here. And the TDS items that behaves to that implementation are here. Basically just the template and the fields, the respective fields. Correct? However, when you want to use it, we are not going to use directly that template. We are going to create templates. In this case, we choose to put in the common project, because the common is like, imagine in a multi-tenant site when you have several sites with the same branding, with the same appearance. So you have a common project for that, to place everything that is common for them. And that includes the templates with the templates that we created, team members, right? Which is actually inheriting from the base one, right? And in your project scope, we have a common TDS project here, where you're going to add the things that are related to your project, like the mapping item. Remember the mapping item? Why? Because in your site, you can have in site A, your component using a template or adding items to content items to a certain place, while in the other project, in the other website, it has a separate repository for that. So you can have the same component. In order to have that without this, we will have to duplicate the component, right? As well as the items themselves. So if you have some demo items to your site, you put them under at the project level layer under your website project. I guess that's it. Anything else? Or anything at the YouTube video? No?
No, but I think it's valid to ask.
Okay, anybody at the line at the YouTube chat that wants to paste or type any question, let us know.
Yeah, so guys here in YouTube are talking about TDS and Unicorn. Do you have any opinion for this Hilux project?
Yes, Unicorn is states very boldly that they don't want to rival. They're not a rival or a replacement for TDS. Unicorn is just serialization. So, and it's free, of course. So, and while in the other hand, TDS is paid and does, like in my opinion, a better job on doing comparisons inside Visual Studio, because Unicorn relies on a web page for that. And more than that, TDS also does fancy things like code generation and deployment. So you guys saw that I'm using TDS here to do the deployment as well. And that Unicorn doesn't do. Instead, they use Goop for doing the deployment, which is a second tool. I have nothing against tools and nothing against using a bigger number of tools in conjunct to do the same thing. But we recently won hackathon and got 1 year license of TDS. So I have 1 year excuse to not to keep using TDS.
Okay, I think we don't have any other question so far.
Let's get going.
Yes, you guys at the line, unfortunately, won't be able to follow us, but we are going for a beer now. Thank you very much, everyone. Keep tuned stay tuned for the next Sitecore user group, which will be probably at the end of June, July, or beginning of August. Right? Thank you. Bye bye. Thanks, folks. Deu pra seguir? Deu pra seguir? Vai disponibilizar esse.
Fala aí, cara. Não vou poder estar na Bíblia, mas.
Ô, meus queridos, ó, antes vocês vão aí, ó.
Vai estar na Bíblia, mas.
É meu último dia. Obrigado pela ajuda aí de vocês, tá? Dá-lhe pau aí, tem muito desafio pela frente ainda e eu venho encher o saco aí de vez em
Taca-lhe pau, Marquinhos. Taca-lhe pau.
Boa sorte pra todo
Tipo
mundo,
Diego.
né?
Obrigado.
Tipo Diego, é. Não, mas eu vou ajudar.
Só que vai chegar antes quando chegar com o Chico.
Pô, também vou ajudar o que conseguiu a parada lá, porra. Fala pra eles, fala.
Ó, a gravação tá aberta.
I will mute my microphone.